Two Jews making food.
Or TJMF.
You always get that right, and
I know.
I have to work on that.
What was that one that was like TMJF or
yeah, I kept saying
TJMF, Two Jews Making Food.
TJMF.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Winter warmth. Oh, my brassiere is showing.
Tried that, Amy.
Jeez.
This is a respectable show.
I know.
We're not the
Sometimes.
Super Bowl, Amy. We're not the Super
I know,
Bowl.
right? No polls up in here.
Which is, we should work on that.
We should. Well, I can't. I can't even get up from a sitting position, so.
Anyway, hi, we're here to make food.
We are. One person watching. Hello. Lynn. Hi, Lynn Burgess.
Hi, Lynn.
Thank you for being viewer number 1. You get some leftovers.
So we know we don't eat them all.
Yeah, well, we are making a lot. I feel like my apron's a little high.
Such good food. I actually got to try a little bit before, and we are in for such a treat. Amy is bringing to us stuffed cabbage.
Yes, my mom's stuffed cabbage. Sandy's stuffed cabbage. Hey, Lynn, how do we sound since you're number 1? Can you type and respond to say how our sound is? Yeah, make sure we're sounding good. Yeah, but we
did a little pre-filming just so you guys could see some of the steps to the stuffed cabbage.
Yes.
Because it takes a little bit longer than an hour, and we want to make sure you guys have all the info to be successful.
Yes. Hi, Dad.
Hi.
Dad, can you type in and tell us if we sound okay? Just type in a message there.
Thumbs up, oh.
Thumbs up, oh. Or just a thumbs up.
Or just a K,
yeah, we did a pre-cook. I made a batch of my mom, Sandy's stuffed cabbage so that we'd have some ready at the end because it does take like an hour and a half to cook. So
well, and you have to steam the cabbage and then roll them, and there's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's amazing.
Thanks, Lynn. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Hooray.
Okay, well, let's get started so that way people can figure out
Let's
how
just
to make
talk.
this. I know. That's really what I want to do. I'm sorry. I'm playing with my hair.
This is our winter warmth episode, but if you know me, you know that I'm always warm, so I'm always wearing sleeveless.
Warm.
I don't.
Oh, I like to be warm.
I like to be just kind of slightly not room temperature.
You're
like
such a Jewess.
I am. I have very high standards for temperature and my body.
You like to be comfortable.
I run hot, so I need to like.
She's hot.
Yeah, we've got the window cracked open a little bit.
Happy
winter.
We're cooking it.
Happy winter. Happy winter.
Happy winter.
So anyway, yeah, let's get started for Lynn and Al.
Why not?
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
hi, Pete.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh yeah, that's my husband.
But I wished him on the correct day at the right time.
That was very good.
I'm very good.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
All right, let's get cooking.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm putting the cabbage in there. Okay, so yes, what Rebecca said is that
grab the camera.
we made some videos in advance to show you things like how to core a cabbage, which I've already done. See, it's cored, meaning I've removed the core. So afterwards, you can watch those little mini videos, those little tutorials on how you core the cabbage, because when I put this cabbage in the pot to steam for the stuffed cabbage, you take the core out because that helps steam through into the cabbage so you get all the leaves soft enough to roll. So we're going to come on over here to the pot.
Come on over to the pot. Here we go.
Come on over to Pot Town. That's a different kind of pot. All right, so I have this on.
So what do we got going?
You know, it needs to boil. It needs to burl. So,
get that up to boiling.
yeah, which one is it?
That's
this one. Yeah. Rebecca's range has like really high heat, and so every time, hi Jen, every time I've cooked here, I've like smoked out the house because I've been cooking it too hot.
But she always apologizes, but we do it all the time. I do,
but I sent her a new pot because I just felt terrible.
So
hi Shri.
And to be honest, we are actually cooking in said pot.
Yeah.
Right here.
This is, hey, if you want, we'll get sneak peek. This is the earlier batch of the stuffed cabbage that is burling. It's cooking.
Oh my God.
So that's what we're going to eat at the end. Okay. Enjoy. All right. This, you know, it's fine. So you should fill a pot about 3/4 of the way. Sorry, one third of the pot should be filled with water, not salted, just regular water.
So it should not be covered.
Well, yes.
I mean, you're not going to cover the whole.
No, I mean no, it doesn't matter. But yes, to steam it, you just want to have about 1/3 of this pot filled, which we've done. You want to do a shot in there, a pot shot. See, just about 1/3 of that is filled with water, and it should come to a boil. And when it's at a boil, you're going to put the cabbage cored, which again, you can watch the video and show later, into the pot. I need to put it core down. It goes into the pot like that.
It's like a cute little.
The lid goes on top, and it's okay if the lid doesn't close. In fact, you don't want it to. Right now, we got a little pot hat. a little cabbage hat. Hello. So as it steams down, this probably will in fact close because this cabbage is just about the right size for this pot. But it's okay if it's up like this. That's fine. You want it open a little bit. So you're going to let that cook, steam for about 15 minutes. Excellent excuses. 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. You got to watch it because it's going to start getting translucent, and you just want to start to touch it, and if it feels like it's got a bit of a give and it's a bit soft, then that's when it's ready to be taken out.
Would you say you'd want to err on the side of more done or less done?
I'd say more. That's a good question, Rebecca.
I would think slightly less done because it's
slightly less done. Yes, that's true. So if it's a little bit more tough as opposed to like falling, you don't want it falling apart. This one I did cook a little bit too much earlier, and I had to discard some of the top leaves because they go in there anyway. But as far as what I had to wrap the meat in, I didn't have quite enough. But it was fine. It worked out. It doesn't matter. It tastes good. Whatever. Anyway, here we go.
Well, a watch pot never boils.
A watch pot never boils. I'm going to turn up just a wee bit to get it boiling, and then I'll bring it down. So you want this to boil, and then you're going to simmer it for about 10 to 15 minutes, and you want to check periodically. And when it's at the point where it's ready to take out, I will show you how it should look. So that's good. So we're going to move on to, cabbage cord is in the pot, steaming.
Hat on.
Hat on.
It does not need to be.
Yeah, you don't want it closed all the way. Give it a little bit of breathing.
All right. Breathe.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, back
so
to the
table.
table.
To start with here is matzo
Hi,
soup.
Deborah Simon. Hi, Andrea Matra.
Oh, hi.
Deborah's here. She's like, I'm here.
I'm here.
You can start now.
You can start. Well, we're starting. We got a little bit of a head that we needed to start steaming the cabbage.
Yes.
To make stuffed cabbage. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And what else we're gonna do?
3:07. At 3:17, I'm going to check the cabbage again. So if somebody wants to like remind me, go, Amy, check the cabbage when 3:17 comes. No, just let them do it. Tell me. You tell me when it's 3:17, listeners, watchers.
So the other part that we're doing today is we're making matzo ball soup.
Matzo ball soup.
And part of the key to matzo ball soup is a really delicious broth, which I also started making because it needs to boil down for too long, and there's no way the show would be like 3 hours. So I started the stock earlier yesterday, and it's boiling down. But we also need to make the matzo ball with the matzo meal itself because it needs to sit in the fridge for about 20 minutes just to kind of firm up. Yeah. But we might even cut that down to like 10 or 15, depending.
I'm rolling a lemon.
And you're rolling a lemon. So, all right, for matzo ball soup.
What happens when somebody calls you? I think we're back on. Okay. Jesus. Tell people not to call me from 3 to 4.
Don't call. Okay, so things we've got. That's for later.
Watching from sunny Florida tonight, Beth.
That must be so nice.
She keeps trying to spell tonight. And Tanti. Tanti.
Hi, Tanti.
Is she your aunt?
Yes.
Aw.
And you're watching from Florida. Oh, that sounds
We've
so
got
lovely.
California. We've got Florida. We've got
so to start,
Long Island. Okay.
We are going to, I like to break the eggs first and to give them a little bit of a whip. It helps to, I feel like, combine everything together and keeps it from getting too like solid. We were discussing matzo balls.
Yeah.
And I'm very particular about the kind of matzo ball that I prefer. However, I would never turn down any matzo ball soup because it's really
Nor would I.
So I tend to like slightly firmer matzo balls.
As do I, and that's controversial. We've understood.
Some people like really light and fluffy ones, and they're delicious. Yeah. I mean, they're still good. They're just not my favorite. So
they say that
is it baking powder?
Well, I read that a firm matzo ball is like an offense to matzo balls. But like I like it on the harder side. Like it's more hearty, and I feel like I'm having more of a meal. Like if it's too fluffy, it kind of falls apart, and it's not as satisfying.
Well, and I feel like I cut into it, and then by the time I eat it, it almost like melts away, and I feel like I miss the experience of.
I don't want it to crumble in the soup.
No, I don't either. Yeah, I also don't want it to like melt apart when I touch it with a spoon. I want a matzo ball to have a little bit of a give.
So just like we're not the best Jews, we're also a little bit of our take on matzo ball soup is a little untraditional, because.
So good. So right now I am cracking.
Take that, Bon Appetit.
Was it Bon Appetit that said?
They all said that it shouldn't be hard. I mean, we're not talking hard like a golf ball, but still like a little bit hard.
So what I did is I put 4 eggs into a measuring cup, and I'm just giving them a quick little whip.
Whipping.
A little bit of air in there because it keeps it from being too overly firm. And some people, when they make matzo ball soup, they think it's baking powder in it.
Pete, behave yourself.
Pete. But
because I said
don't
balls.
think that's necessary. I don't think that's necessary. And I also, again, I don't like when it's overly light.
Oh, right.
So
So
I say no.
you beat the eggs.
I beat the eggs.
Eggs have been beaten.
A little bit of a lift, and I use vegetable oil in mine. Some people use butter. Butter's fine too. I've made it with butter. It's delicious always.
Or
I just prefer the vegetable oil myself. But some people use
schmaltz.
Schmaltz. If you're gonna make it like super traditional, I think originally they used schmaltz.
Yeah.
Which is
rendered chicken fat with some onion.
And it's delicious.
Yeah.
But I make my broth really deep, like it's nice, heavy. It's not like a heavy broth, but it's deep flavor. And so I don't feel the need to use schmaltz in the matzo ball itself because I feel
She's got deep flavor.
Deep flavor. Because I just feel like it's too much at that point.
Yeah.
It's like
it's very and I think the way you make your broth kind of makes up for the fact
I like
that
a simple matzo ball.
Yeah.
Like the matzo ball itself doesn't need to be the star. I think the soup itself needs to be the star, but that's just me. So a quarter of a cup vegetable oil.
She's squeezing.
And then a quarter of a cup seltzer. I use seltzer because I do like that it gives it a little bit of a fluff. It keeps it from being too tough. So, and some people, I said, use egg whites. You ever heard of that?
No.
People using egg whites and they beat them basically until almost like not like a meringue, but until they get a little bit of foam. And they
T is watching. Hi, T.
Hi. So a quarter of a cup of fresh.
Volume could be better, fading a bit.
Ooh. So a quarter of a cup, and you'll see it makes it a little bit frothy. You see how there's a little froth? Use fresh seltzer. I find that.
Ooh, look at that. It is frothy. Froth. T, is our volume any better now? Do I have to talk like this in my face?
Exactly. So there we go. That's that.
Seltzer.
Seltzer.
By the way, I went to the pot where the cabbage is cooking because it finally was boiling, and so I turned it down to a simmer.
A simmer.
A simmer. So now great, thank you. The cabbage is simmering in a little bit of water to steam for about 10 minutes.
Teaspoon salt.
317.
Because this is kind of.
Teaspoon of salt.
And then the star of the show is 1 cup of
Matzo meal, which you can get year round. It doesn't have to be Passover.
Yeah. Shops got it. I mean, sometimes I have to go into the foreign food section.
Well, yeah. Usually there's that international aisle that has, it has the Chinese and things. It has Mexican, and there's always the little like Jewish section that. But it's important to note that if you're making this for Passover, do not buy your matzah meal from the Jewish section that's there year-round, because that's not kosher. But also, that's not kosher for Passover.
Oh, that is also true.
Yeah, and it'll say like Parav for Passover. Parav means kosher. So you don't want to do that for Passover. Always go to the special Passover section to get your matzah meal. But any other time of year, just go to the international aisle, and there will always be matzah meal there.
And if you're not worried about being hard for Passover, just buy whatever you see.
Lynn says we're both so pretty. We're so pretty. Thanks, Lynn. Hi, the children are home.
Oh my gosh, this is my son Owen loves to make matzo ball soup. It is one of his favorites. He might actually wander in to help make some of the balls.
Owen.
His favorite part. This goes in the refrigerator for 15, 20 minutes. Kind of depends on how much time you have.
That's pretty. I gotta say, this compared to what I'm used to, this is pretty loose. Like here, check it out. It's like bloop 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 bloop. It's got like some give to it. Like mine is usually thicker.
Yeah.
But you think only 20 minutes for this?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it just basically gets a little cold and it hardens everything up.
Hard enough to roll into balls. Right?
Balls, yeah.
Yeah. Sound check. Please keep trying to raise on my end. I don't know what's going on with our sound.
Why are we always
I don't know.
Where's the?
Does this go up higher? I'm not messing with this. Is the sound like really bad, or is it?
The sound on there?
I turned it up.
Is it up?
Sorry, guys. Sound is fine. Sri says the sound is fine.
Oh, all right.
Deborah, check your ears.
Maybe she needs to turn it up on her end.
Maybe. She says you tried, but anyway, what can we do? We can't please everybody.
Okay, so that was matzo ball soup. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drain the stock now. Is that what we should do?
And by draining it, you're straining it.
Yes, I'm straining the stock.
To make it clean.
So right now there is bones and chicken. I put the 2 chicken carcasses into, which again, what's wrong?
Is your mic on?
I think so.
Let's fix this. Jennifer says it sounds like only my mic is on. Maybe if we go a little closer to your face.
Is that better?
Is that better?
Is that
Talk.
better?
Is that any better? Talk,
Sounds
Rebecca.
kind of like only Amy's mic is on.
Does Rebecca sound better now?
Am I better?
We're amateurs. Can you tell?
Well, we're trying to figure.
Hold on. Let's go this way so we don't have this thing going across your chest.
It's like a necklace.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Sorry, guys.
No, we're trying to figure out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and strain the stock. What I did to make my stock is I took 2 chicken, not really.
No.
You know, I had trouble with my mic last time.
Did you?
Remember?
What's up with that? It's off.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I wonder if
That
I
would
sat
explain
on it.
why it was off.
Oh, is that better? Is that
Yeah.
better? Yeah, that should be. Yes.
Jeez.
There we go.
Well, we'll give it a second. Anyway, her mic is
So-
on now.
No, it's on. I guess it got turned off. Maybe I sat on it.
Amateurs.
Man, we're gonna get it right one of these days or
Yes.
not. Whatever.
So what were you saying?
Okay, so hold on, the chicken stock. I can actually talk from over here, and you can just watch Amy. Sorry, I was.
Can you hear
laughing.
Rebecca? Can you hear
Okay.
her talking now?
Okay, so the chicken stock. Back to the chicken stock. I take 2 chicken carcasses and I put them in a pot of either water to start. Yay! Or we also like to use water and box chicken stock. We think that the flavor becomes much more rich as the stock boils down. Slow down. Okay. I guess I talk really fast and Amy told me to slow down.
And I whispered it as if nobody could hear except
But
I
you
had
have a mic on. It's almost like when you pee in the bathroom but the mic's on.
Don't mind me, I'm peeing.
Okay, so I took 2 chicken carcasses. I just bought pre-made chicken at the grocery store. And I took the chicken off the chicken meat and I put it into a little dish to keep for later. And then I put the carcass itself into the water and I covered it. I covered both chicken carcasses, not to the top, but so that both of them are covered. And I started cooking it last night. It basically boils down over a couple of hours. Then, when it's boiled down a little bit, I add the chicken stock from a box into it and then continue to boil it down more. So that way the sauce is really, really rich and it comes out so good. But now we have to drain the stock in order for it not to have bones in it.
Yeah.
So what I do...
How can I help?
How can I help?
I'm
So
gonna
what I
bring-
do
I'm gonna
is
bring this
I
over
get just like a little pot and I use my spaghetti strainer. And I put
Sounds
it
good.
into the sink.
It's a sink.
It's a sink. So then this is really hot.
I don't want to get in your way, but I'm going to...
Okay.
Action shot.
So then we aim for the center so we don't waste any of it.
Ooh, that smells good.
It smells so good.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yum.
And there is going to be... I put the chicken skin in.
I can't tell if it's on it.
Woo! I put the chicken skin in and...
It's facial time again.
Oh my gosh, it's facial time. Put the chicken skin, the bones, and some of... Let's make sure we're not...
So now I understand, like when you were saying to
far at the
pick
top.
out the chicken to put in there from the broth, because there's a lot of chicken left in that pot.
Yeah, oh,
That's edible chicken.
So you can actually go through and kind of pick out some of the pieces that you'd want to keep. Most of this is just stuff I'm going to discard. Ouch,
It smells really good. Thanks about the product placement, Pete. Here is the cabbage. This is not ready yet. But it's gotten to be a nice bright green. But as far as the give, it's still pretty tough. So it still needs, I would say, another 5 minutes. So feel free to tell me at 3:25, because we're relying on you to get this right. Let me know when it's 3:25 to check that cabbage again.
Okay, so
What are you
now
working on over there?
I'm just taking out pieces of chicken that look appealing to me that I might want to put back in later. I also have, if you don't want to do this because it's too hot and we're going to be low on time, you can just take this and toss it. I have the extra chicken that I took off the bones from earlier, and I will throw that in the pot. And after about 20 minutes, it gets really soft and really stringy anyway. So, like I said, if this is really hot and this is kind of a lot of bones, I might just get rid of this. And this,
a lot of bones.
It's a lot of bones.
Yeah. But it smells so good.
I know. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this and then try not to get rid of
Hey,
it.
and something important, yeah, we do need smell-o-vision. Something that is important to note is that a lot of times the matzo ball soup, you can just get the package from the store, like at Passover, even off-season. They have boxes of matzo ball soup, and oftentimes, and you just mix the matzo meal with an egg and some oil. That's really it. And oftentimes it comes with a little soup packet that you just pour in water and heat, and that's fine. They're actually good. I mean, full disclosure, I've used those many times.
Oh my gosh, yes. Sometimes if I'm making
we're busy ladies.
If I'm making it quick for my kids, or it's just like a kind of a quick dinner, I'm not going to sit around and make stuff.
Yeah. So
we typically have places to be.
So generally, it's fine to use those broth packets that you just put in water, and that makes it really, really easy. And it's like a 4-step process to making matzo balls, and they always come out really good. And then both Rebecca and I generally like to add sliced carrots into the broth.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Maybe celery for those of you who like it. Some of us don't. A little sprig of parsley to garnish. So feel free to use that box of matzo ball soup mix and broth mix. It's fine. We're doing it the fully homemade way because we're 2 Jews making food, and you know.
If I had 2 stock pots, I would have just poured it into a stock pot, but I only have 1, and I want to give the matzo balls room to cook and to move around, so I just transferred it back.
Good thing I brought my own.
To the pot. It's true. I mean, I have like a really big one, but that's like when I make matzo ball soup for 30 people, I use like a huge one.
Like a bathtub?
Basically, yes, because people do eat
bathtub matzo balls.
So I just put this back on the stove, and we're just waiting for the matzo meal now. The matzo balls to go in.
Matzo balls.
I'm going to go ahead and throw chicken into that too.
Hey, I want to mention, I don't think she's watching, but I do want to give a shout out to Gianna Volpe and WPPB, Peconic Public Broadcasting, for giving us a shout out and having us on their show. And also, it is their fund drive. So go to the WPPB 88.3 website. I think you just if you just search 88.3 or WPPB, that takes you to their website, and there's a donate button, and we donated today.
We did.
To support their fund drive. Not the fun drive, because I don't think fund drives are particularly fun.
I don't think she would say it was fun.
No, probably not fun. Rebecca's breaking up the chicken.
I am. I'm just putting a little
Anyway, so thank you to Gianna Volpe and to WPPB for supporting the 2 Jews making food.
She's so sweet. She has us on before most of our shows.
We were on
she's so
the other day. Yeah. So donate to...
Donate to the drive.
To WPPB, Peconic Public Broadcasting,
and
88.3.
It's local.
It's local.
That's what's so
And it's NPR, so donate to your local NPR station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could use more news like that.
Yes.
Okay, so I just basically ripped up a bunch of chicken, threw it in, call it good.
Chicken ripped up.
And I am going to throw in my carrots.
She makes her carrots bigger than mine.
I know. I put them like bites. I mean, these are bite-sized. When you eat that, I want you to know
mine are more like coins, not thin like a coin, but long.
I tried to cut it like
she also
Amy.
used baby carrots, and I don't use baby carrots, but that's fine. That's more like the way I do it. Yeah, on an angle. Boop.
Exactly.
But hers are a little bigger, but it doesn't matter.
Right in it goes.
Like so many things. Hi, Diana.
It doesn't matter.
Like so many things in Jewish cooking, it's not fussy. It's
no.
It's like messy and homey
and it's
and
not
just
always
delicious.
We were saying it's not always delicate food.
No.
This is some of the dark meat.
It's definitely not only delicate food.
Doesn't need to be. No, it's supposed to be like home.
I'm gonna check on my cabbage again.
Please do.
Because it's 3:25.
Oh,
nobody reminded me. Thanks, guys.
Come on, Amy.
It still needs time. It's not ready.
All right. So you know what I'm gonna do in the meantime, Amy?
What?
I'm gonna make us a little cocktail.
Ooh, it's cocktail time.
Cocktail time. And because
I'm gonna put that lid fully on.
Because this is warmth. Right?
Winter warmth.
Winter warmth, and we're getting so close to Valentine's Day. I thought that I would make fresh hot chocolate, which is so much better.
Fresh hot chocolate.
Yes. So much better than packaged, which is, when you see how easy it is to make it, you're going to say, why do I buy the package? So easy.
Does this mean you use chocolate bars?
I do. So I use...
Thank you, Pete. It's 3:25, and I just checked the cabbage, and it's not ready.
Just checked. Did we have the... I took the measuring cup out. Did I put it away?
Geez.
It doesn't really matter. I can just eyeball it.
Might be in the sink. I don't know.
Oh, it's right there. I see it.
Oh,
I use it for
it's
my
dirty.
I'll just give it a zhuzh. We'll clean it out.
Will you comment on why you don't start with raw chicken for max flavor? Is that what you do, Deborah? Oh, I got our back of house shot.
If I am making, if I'm making baked chicken, like here, you mean like put the whole raw chicken in, or to make my own?
To make, I mean, for a broth? Well, which is my, she can't talk back, but to wait for her to type.
So to put like a raw chicken in and make it that way?
I guess, yes. Yep.
Yeah, I would say it typically just takes a really long time. And when I'm making this, I also tend to be making it for a lot of people when I do make this. And that's just, it's already so much going on.
Yeah.
For me,
if you have the time.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to make it for a small, like, dinner party, I would make it fancy. But if I'm making it for a big group of people, I just kind of do what's easiest.
Whereas I am lazy and I pretty much just buy broth because I don't have time to make my own.
All right.
All right.
So hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate coming over.
I prefer to use milk. You can use almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk, whatever you want. It does not need to be milk. But I use a mix of reduced fat milk, which doesn't really make sense. You can use whole. It's whatever you have. And then I also like to use a little bit of half and half to give it creaminess. So about that. And then I like dark chocolate. I decided to use dark chocolate. It's a little bit more bitter if you're making it and you like things that are super sweet. You might try semi-sweet chocolate, or you can use milk chocolate, whatever you like, or semi-sweet. It's up to you. And if you use dark chocolate, you might have to bump in a little bit more sugar if you like it sweeter. Depends on what you like. So I just take a bar.
Ooh.
And I break it up and I throw it in.
That
And
looks
then I turn this on. And I wouldn't put on like a high, I would put on, I have it between 3 and 4 at the moment, because if you heat it up too fast, you could scald the milk, and you don't want to do that.
No.
So that's a lot of chocolate in there. I'm going to add a little bit more.
Well, you had a hard time deciding what kind of cocktail to make today.
I did.
Because
I was looking.
because a lot of warm cocktails are kind of waspy. Like a hot toddy. Like I don't. Do you know any Jews that drink a hot toddy?
I mean, I do. I enjoy them, but I think my husband always makes them, and he's got Irish on his side, so I think that's where that kind of comes from.
Yeah. Or like what was the other thing? Like mulled wine.
Oh, mulled wine. I do feel like that's like a fall Christmas time.
But also
kind of
again
thing.
like super waspy.
Well, I am a little waspy. Come on.
I'm not at all. So
I can be waspy when I need to.
everyone's a little bit waspy, they say.
So I'm just heating that up, and I'm melting the chocolate in the milk. How's your cabbage?
Oh, let me check my cabbage.
Ooh, that looks so bright green. Yum.
It's very bright green. I think it needs a little more time.
Needs a little more time.
See, it's very pretty,
No.
but just a little more. I'm going to steam this cabbage just a little bit more. And
It's so temperamental. I put
I
things
think
out.
just a couple more minutes.
Put things out, and then I lost them, Amy. I put measuring tools out.
We're making T's favorites, and why does she always miss it? Because you moved away. That's why you miss it.
It's on you.
That's your fault.
So
Sorry.
to this, I'm also adding...
Lynn says sing some more. That's what my mom says, ling. Ling. Ling.
Ling.
Oh, God.
Ling, ling, ling. So I
Losing my
put
mind
in a
today.
whole bunch of vanilla extract,
What's a whole bunch?
about 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of ground
cinnamon.
And you're like, this just seems like boring hot chocolate. What's going to make this interesting?
Booze.
Well, booze. And I'm going to make it with a little bit of heat. And I'm going to throw cayenne pepper in.
Oh.
And people are like, what? You
That's
can
kind
also
of like a
use-
Mexican hot chocolate.
It is like a Mexican hot chocolate, but it adds such a nice warmth. And I'm not saying add in so much that it makes it hot, like it burns your tongue, meaning the heat from the pepper.
Yeah, I'm sensitive.
So, and my
Carrie.
kids, I made this last night, and my kids loved it. They drank it. So it's not so super spicy.
They're not typical kids that are like fussy about stuff, are they?
Yeah, if you have a person who's sensitive to heat, that they're like, I can't even eat barbecue sauce, like it's too hot, then just leave it out.
I don't like barbecue sauce. I can eat it, but I don't like it.
You don't like barbecue
I
sauce?
don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Something about it. It's too barbecue-y.
I'm concerned for you. You know what? This isn't chocolatey enough for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Put some more in.
So I'm going to put some more in. You can't stop me.
You can't stop the beat. See? Singing, Lynn.
What song is that?
That's from Hairspray.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I used to work, not on the stage on Broadway, but I used to work on Broadway
She should have.
in the biz, and I often sing a show tune. So pretty much every song I've sung during the show today is inspired by, well, from a Broadway show, but I've changed the lyrics to suit the situation, like my grandmother would do.
There we go.
My Grandma Peggy, who's
Grandma
101,
Peggy.
still kicking.
Oh my gosh, you have some good genes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now is the time for the ground.
Ooh, the cayenne pepper.
I know, Amy's nervous. Don't be nervous, Amy.
I'm a little nervous.
Now,
no, I've had it
this
before,
is a quarter teaspoon. I would not put in a quarter teaspoon. That is a lot of cayenne pepper. But the nice thing is that we have milk in this, which will kind of counteract the spiciness. That's kind of what mellows it out. So I would say like 1/8 of a teaspoon, like that.
That's like half of that scoop. That still looks like a lot to me, but whatever.
Boop! It's in. And last night I did this when I made it, and I tasted it, and I thought it needed a little more. So then I would just kind of shake, little shake in.
Shake, shake, shake.
Do you want to taste this?
Shake, shake, shake.
It's spicy.
Shake your hot chocolate. Shake your hot chocolate.
Ooh. Okay.
I want to taste. Do I want to taste this?
You want to try it? You want me to try it first?
You try it first. Okay. You know what?
Is it ready? Is it time?
I think it is.
Ooh.
Good?
Yeah.
Too hot? All right.
Are you gonna? Ooh, that's so nice. Like honestly, you get it, and the chocolate is so good, and it's rich, and it's almost like it's not smoky. There's like a little tiny bit of like heat again, but it's not hot. It's just like a richness that finishes it off so beautifully. So
I get it.
And then there's also the cinnamon in
Britt
there.
asks if we can make a theme song to this. Sing it every time. Yeah, we should do that.
Should do that. All right, you want me to
Britt,
make
you
your
can help
matzo?
with that. It'd be kind of like the Hank Pumpkin Town song.
Want to take you
Come
to
on down to Pumpkin Town.
Pumpkin Town.
All right, so my cabbage is looking good enough to remove from the heat and drain. So I am going to do that.
All right, what I'm going to do is actually empty the sink.
All right, well, that's a good idea.
Bigger sink.
What are you doing right now? So that
I was going to make your drink, but I'm going to turn this off, and I'll come back to it.
Are you coming over here?
I can.
All right. All right, so I got to drain this, which is tricky. I need just a... It's hot. So I'm draining the cabbage.
Ooh, it's another smoke show.
Oh, this is facial. The cabbage facial is not quite as enjoyable as the chicken soup facial.
Yeah.
Because it's cabbagey.
And I have to say, cabbage is one of those things that if you cook it in your house could smell like cabbage for a while. But I find that, again, you take a little bit...
Which may be misconstrued for, like, stinky feet.
Yes. And what you can do to combat that is take a little bit of water and a little bit of just regular vinegar.
Coming over here.
And boil it in the house for about, I don't know, like 10 minutes, and just let it come to a boil.
Burl it.
And then the smell goes away. We do it with fish when we cook fish in the house, and now we do it with cabbage. When Amy leaves, I will do that.
Be careful taking the cabbage out of the pot because it's really hot.
Do you need this to take it out?
Yeah, I'm going to take the spoon to take it out because it's very hot. The cabbage needs to then sit for like 15 minutes at least. So here's the cabbage. I'm going to rest it on the cutting board and let it sit for about 10, 15, 20 even minutes. This is going to be one of the last things we do today because I already made a batch that we'll show you at the end. So we don't have to worry about the cooking time on this because it's already done. It's not like our first episode that we actually did everything in real time and it was like a Greek tragedy.
Oh my God, it was like watching a train wreck.
We apologized for the first show being like 90 minutes.
It was really long. I mean, we were wonderful, but it was
we were the
really
best.
Long.
But I mean, all 14 of you came back, so. All right, so I am
You're going to let that cool?
letting the cabbage cool.
All right, I'm going to make matzo balls.
So let me see this.
Go.
Wow. For those of you who were watching earlier when I shook this and it went blah, 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 it's not doing that now. So
we've done it right.
Pete wants a taste of that drink for me to bring home.
Oh, I'll send it home.
I'm sure you know what? I have my to-go coffee
Make it for you.
thing in the car, so we'll fill one up for you, Pete.
All right.
I'm rolling a lemon still to soften loosen the juices because I am going to put that in the sauce. So the sauce for the stuffed cabbage, I already have put it all together in a pot, which I'm going to have to move it over here at some point to that.
To the front one?
Well, one of these I have to put the sauce on so that I can put the
right
cabbage in there.
Do you want me to make matzo balls? And
We can probably take the one, that one I think we can take off.
Done?
I think my pre-made stuffed cabbage can actually come off the heat so that I can make room for the pot that has the sauce in it, which maybe I'll just show it here. So,
oh, you want me to show here?
Yeah.
There you go.
So this is,
I'm going to move pots around.
so the sauce for the stuffed cabbage is, and again, you'll see this on our video that we pre-made some videos to show you how to core a cabbage, because you have to remove the core so that it steams properly. And we also made a video on, once again, the sweating of onions as opposed to the
schwitzing.
I'd say schwitzing of onions,
Schwitzing of onions.
and not full sautéing, but sweating. So there's a video for that. So what I did here is in this pot, in this pot directly, I put some butter and 1 yellow onion, and I sweated it. And then after the onion was sweated, I added it's maybe like 64 ounces. I had a 46 ounce, and then Rebecca went out and got me a little bit more, 32 ounce, because I felt I didn't have enough tomato juice. It's not
V8?
not V8.
But you can.
Wow, this is a good angle for me.
You can use V8. I've done it before.
You can bring it down. You can use V8. It's fine, but it's tomato juice. It doesn't have to be organic. It can be whatever. So ended up using this much, which was a 46 ounce and a 32 ounce, but like 64 ounce, like a big bottle of tomato juice is fine. Like you then put in sweated onions, yellow onions, 1 sweated yellow onion sliced, tomato juice, a half a package of golden raisins, or as Nigella Lawson would call them, sultanas. Sultanas, so half a package of golden raisins. A
quarter cup. Mics.
Right. Can you hear us now?
Oh, wait. Is that better?
We're going to have to go without our mics and just use the sound from the phone.
I guess the what's it called died.
Yeah. Boy, we are just flubbing it today. No, the little receiver for our thing died, so we're taking these mics off.
Oh.
We don't need these suckers.
I'm just going to leave mine on.
You're going to leave it on? Why? Whatever. I'm taking it off.
Because it's a
Woo!
Yes, now it works. Everyone says it's fine.
Yeah. We don't even need these really.
I want to throw in matzo balls just because we have about 20 minutes and they need about that long to cook.
Okay.
So
anyway, if you missed me saying I was squeezing lemons into my, well, I just dropped a seed in, but it's okay. So yes, I added tomato juice, not V8, but just tomato juice, to a sweated, 1 yellow onion sweated in butter, or my mom uses margarine, but whatever. I think that's gross. But about 62 ounces of tomato juice, half a package of the golden raisins, a quarter cup of sugar, salt and pepper to taste, and the juice of 1 lemon. And that all goes into this sauce, which I'm gonna put on the oven, on the stove.
let's do
Oh,
it.
is that this one back here?
Yeah, I think it's on.
Okay.
So now the trick with matzo balls is to not getting it on your hands is to either wet your hands with water, oil, or broth, depending on what you have available to you. The trick to our stock
Do you wanna, oh, I need to get you.
is we add 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
That is crazy.
I know. And it sounds like, what? But it gives it a really, really nice, it's not like it doesn't make it bitter, but it adds a nice, I can't even think of what the word is.
Acidity.
I guess it is acidic. It adds acidity to
Not acidic,
Not
but
acidic.
acidic.
Acidic. But it just gives it a little, So I do 3, should get that a little closer. 3 tablespoons before the matzo balls go in. So that way it doesn't cook all the way off. Let me just make sure what's on here.
Wrong burner.
Because you don't want to cook matzo balls like in a rolling boil.
Deborah, it gives it a little bite.
Yes, you want to cook them in. It's not like a hard boiled. It's like a gentle massage. You want like basically overly warm water. It's like just pre-boil.
Simmer. A simmer.
Fine.
Simmer down.
So what I do is I just put a little bit of stock on my hands.
She put stock on her hands, guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, your hands need to be a little bit damp or they stick all over you.
And then you just
look at that ball. Nice ball.
And you're right in. And just you don't plop them in because then you have the chance of them breaking apart. They're still kind of soft early on.
Yeah.
And if you find that sticking to your hands, you just either, like I said, add water or a little bit more
stock.
And then you just roll.
Rolling with the matzo balls.
Rolling.
A rolling boil. That's a good way of putting it. A rolling boil. Thanks, Deborah. Deborah's always got the answers because she's another Jew.
You're so Jewish.
He's so Jewish.
Jewish, Deborah.
I'm gonna move this to the front one.
Please do. That's actually nice. And I do about a spoonful, like a palm full of matzo.
This is gonna go wow,
as it does.
So Rebecca's rolling the balls.
Rolling balls.
Hey, is that? Oh, this is off. Is that done? The cocktail's done.
Cocktail's done. I just need to
So
pour.
once you get those balls in, then you can pour me a drink, and I'm gonna start rolling the stuffed cabbage, which is very exciting. Rolling down the river.
Oh yeah.
Rolling,
Ooh.
rolling on the river.
Need to
Good
find the
one.
right note there.
Yeah, feel free to recommend a song to appease those who want us to sing. And I know my husband, if he's still here, is he's rolling his eyes because he gets embarrassed really easily. All right. How you doing with those? Oh wow, look at them. They're already like looking really good. Check out them balls.
Yep.
You got nice balls.
Thank you.
So inappropriate.
I'm often known for my even balls.
Are they?
Even cookies.
Your balls are symmetrical?
My balls are symmetrical.
We don't have to worry about FAA nonsense, right? Because this is just our own thing.
That's right. No FAA
You could talk about balls on air. It's like a technical thing. I'm sure Dr. Oz talks about balls all the time. Doesn't he?
He's very informed.
He's very informed. I'm taking
You're
the
taking it off,
receiver off the back of the phone because it's not working anyway.
All right, balls are in.
Sorry.
Gonna go ahead and cover them.
Cover the balls.
Cover the balls. And they're off.
And you've got this on a very low heat, so it's just on a low, like, if your range has numbers, hers is number 2. If it's old, it's just low.
But that that burner on the front is my like hard boil burner. So the 2 is really probably more like a 4 on like an average one, like an average burner. All right, now I'm gonna quickly make cocktails while you're getting all that stuff in.
Yeah. I got meat.
Yeah, girl.
So for the stuffed cabbage, what you stuff it with is very exciting. It's meat. Some people use turkey meat if they're trying to be a little more healthy, but this is beef. It's about an 80% lean. Should have a good fat content, so don't go too lean. Don't go 90, 95. Go like 80, 85 on your beef. And just one package, like a pound is fine. You don't need a ton of meat. So that's the beef. Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? It's there.
I'm gonna make a little well, and I'm gonna poke a well in the middle there because I'm gonna put an egg in there, and I'm gonna whisk the egg inside the meat. Whole.
All right, for Amy's drink, I'm just making it with like a vanilla vodka because I think that tastes good.
Because that's my preference.
That's her preference. I happen to like bourbon, so I have bullet bourbon for mine. And my husband generally drinks bourbon as well. So if we're going to make it fancy, that's how we do it. You can also use rum. Some people use brandy. Some people use amaretto. Some people have nothing. It's whatever you want. About 1 shot, and then the rest of it hot chocolate. And I'm going to top mine with a little bit of whipped cream.
I want whipped cream on mine too.
Yeah, girl.
You know, while this cabbage is still cooling off a bit, where's your phone? I think it's time for our Yiddish lesson. Why every time I say lesson, our Yiddish lesson. I think it's time to FaceTime with my dad.
Pops. Yeah.
For the Yiddish lesson. Come on, phone. Our Yiddish lesson of the day with Al.
With Al.
So let's get him on the phone.
Yiddish lesson of the day with Al.
Al. Where is he there? Don't you? I thought you. What is it? Amy's dad? What do you have in here? Is he not in here?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I'm wasting time. I'll just call him with the keypad.
I think I might have called him.
310.
I think I called him from your phone last time.
No.
No, it was mine.
Yeah.
Guys, we're falling apart over here.
Oh no, I don't want to call him. Oh my God, I'm losing it.
Lose your mind.
You do your thing while I add.
I'm doing my thing. So Amy's. And what did we decide this was called? This I call it like a zester, but it's a. What did you call this?
It's a microplane.
A microplane. I learned that last time. I obviously learned it well because I couldn't remember it now. So I have a zester, as I call it, and I have Amy with her hot chocolate. I know I could make my own whipped cream, but I just decided not to this time around.
That's a bit much.
It just is a lot of elements.
Hi, Dad.
Hello.
Hi. Here's my dad.
Thanks for deleting me.
I think she never put you in. The nerve. All right, so Dad, low network connection.
Yeah.
Better. It says we have a low network connection because this is just apparently that kind of day. Is Mercury in retrograde or something?
Could be.
Dad, what is our Yiddish lesson of the day? What's the Yiddish word of the day?
Yes.
Oh, I'm hearing the feedback.
Oh, we got feedback. What?
He probably has the
The
volume
word
up.
is maven.
Maven. Hey, turn your volume on your computer off because it's feeding back.
We can hear our charming selves.
But the word is maven.
It's off.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Yiddish word of the day is maven.
How would we use Maven?
What does maven mean?
Maven means somebody who thinks he knows everything.
That's what a maven
That's what-
means?
Oh.
I like how you always put this in as a male. Like a schmendrick, like it's a man. Like,
No.
but it could be a woman too.
Oh, without a doubt.
But isn't it also
A maven could be a maven is a person who considers himself, herself,
An expert.
on everything.
Would you say falsely though? Cheers.
Many times. Because nobody knows everything.
Oh.
Except me. Except me.
Yeah, oh boy. Use Maven in a sentence.
I am a maven.
Because you know everything.
I mean, you should be confident.
You're an expert on everything. Use Maven in a sentence, please.
Use Maven in a sentence. Sandy, use Maven. Use Maven in a sentence.
Hey, well, hey, this is, first of all, show Mom. Show Mom because it's her.
You're a maven, Amy, because you know everything.
Well, oh, thanks. I guess I'm a
Amy
good one.
is a maven.
Dad, put Mom on the camera for a second so we can show her since it's her stuffed
No,
cabbage
I
we're
don't want to be
making.
on the camera.
Deal with it. That's my mom, Sandy, and it's her stuffed
Hi.
cabbage we're making today.
You know
We
what?
just
Yeah.
celebrated her
When
birthday
you're making the
recently.
stuffed cabbage,
Yeah.
when you're
What about it?
making the stuffed cabbage, what's left over meat, make tiny little meatballs.
Oh, tiny little
Throw 'em in.
meatballs, yeah. Tiny meatballs.
Cabbage.
All right.
Tiny
Like tiny bubbles.
Tiny bubbles. All right, so back to
She's
using
a
Maven in a sentence.
She's a stuffed cabbage maven. She knows everything about it.
She is.
Right?
Amy
Yeah.
is a maven.
No, my
of
mom
Jewish food.
Yeah. All right, so,
Or
oh, that's
maybe
it?
Maybe that's a mavine. I don't know.
Mavine. Ooh.
This cocktail is good. It is a little spicy. All right, so the Yiddish word of the day is maven, and that is somebody who knows kind of everything. So, like,
Thinks they know everything.
thinks they know
Like
everything.
President Trump.
Oh, geez, we're not getting political on this show.
All right, let's get to rolling.
All right.
We're gonna
Okay.
roll.
We're gonna roll some balls. We're gonna we're gonna make our stuffed cabbage now. All right. So thanks, Dad. Love you. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay. Talk to you later. Thanks for the recipe. Bye. Okay. Maven. All right. Like I said,
Tell me,
beef, egg.
what's for dinner?
I'm cracking the egg. When I worked at Fuddruckers years ago, I learned how to crack an egg with one hand. Did I tell you this? Yes. So I can crack eggs with one hand.
That is such a California thing.
They have a. Oh, I got it. I got a shell in there though. Sorry.
You got it?
I did. Maybe. Can I have a fork, please? Scott Santangelo is watching, and he's kind of a chef. He is a chef, and he's probably embarrassed that I just
Where's
got a little
Scott
chef.
a chef at?
Well, he's a private chef. Oh, so I'm just mixing the egg in here in the meat, because why not? Then you need a quarter cup of milk. Milk. Quarter cup. This is all for the meat that goes in the stuffed cabbage. Quarter cup of milk. Bam. Oh, that was an emerald thing
chocolate
to do,
while I'm
sorry.
watching you.
1/2 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. Already in here, seasoned breadcrumbs. Going in my meat. Salt and pepper to taste. Will you salt and pepper this, Rebecca?
Yeah, bro.
So then just some salt and pepper to taste, and make sure I didn't forget anything. 1/2 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of milk, salt and pepper to taste, and obviously the meat. So I'm just mixing this meat up. I'm actually gonna use my hands. Whoa. How much salt did you put in? So these breadcrumbs were seasoned, but they were unsalted seasoned. So you may have to put a little more salt in when you get this kind of breadcrumb. Where are they? This is the breadcrumbs that I got, seasoned breadcrumbs.
I'm sorry,
So,
that's probably loud
That's
over
fine.
that.
All right, so I'm going to use my hands, which, let me wash them again just to be safe.
Ooh, these look so good.
So you mix up the meat with your hands. Carol has never heard of putting milk in her beef. Yes, it's a lot like making meatballs. It keeps them kind of I don't know.
Well,
you need liquid.
If you were kosher, I guess you would not do that.
Yes, well, obviously, yeah. Oopsie. Again, we are not.
No, we're not kosher.
We're not kosher. We're just like
I don't claim
we're
to be.
regular Jews.
Although the other day, I have to admit, I was confused, as many people are, about what is the difference between Hasidic Jews and Orthodox Jews. Mm-hmm. And I came to the realization that all Hasidic Jews are Orthodox, but not all Orthodox Jews
are Hasidic.
It's two different things. I think Orthodox Jews, are they just more traditional?
Well, Hasidic Jews, that's a specific sect.
Right.
Hasidim, or just like there's different type of Orthodox Jews. Then there's just people who are just Orthodox Jews and they're not part of a specific sect. So that means they keep kosher. They obviously
Now, do all Orthodox Jews walk on Saturday? Or is that just Hasidic?
I believe they all do. I believe they all follow the rules for the
Sabbath?
the Sabbath, where they not only do they not walk, but they can't like turn on lights even.
Or
There's a thing called a Shabbos Goy. A Shabbos Goy is
like
a
a
non-Jew who comes over and turns on your lights and does things that you can't do during the Sabbath. We're not those Jews. We're the Jews that put milk in our meat.
On and off my lights and put milk in my meat.
Yeah.
And well, we're also drinking hot chocolate while making a meat dish. I thought about that the other night. I was like, I guess I'm making a milk drink with a meat food, which is again not kosher, but we're not kosher. So
you could use a different kind of liquid in your meat. Like I said, put the egg in.
No, I was thinking that the milk in the hot chocolate.
No, I know, but I'm saying as far as like milk in your meat to cook with.
You could, you could use like beef broth. I
Yeah,
guess, if you needed.
You could use broth. That would be good. All right.
You should use vegetable broth if you're vegetarian.
Just kidding. And not meat. Would that be like tofu?
Tofu stuffed cabbage.
Gross.
Now, the difference between your stuffed cabbage and mine is that my mom puts rice in.
Oh yes, I was going to talk about that.
In her stuffed cabbage mix, so it would be turkey or beef. You don't like it?
No, it's good. It's a little spicy.
Is it really spicy for you? That's so funny. My palate is very
just
different.
a little.
That's what I'm saying. It's like on the back
it's good.
end. It's like hot, and you're like, oh, and then it goes away.
I like it.
So I put rice in mine, and Amy puts breadcrumbs.
Well, my mom puts breadcrumbs, and she's almost like just the way she would make a meatball. She would put breadcrumbs in her meatballs. And it comes out really, really, really good. So I recommend using breadcrumbs instead of rice, or you can use both. She doesn't like that the rice is too to the teeth. It's too hard. She wants it softer, so she uses breadcrumbs.
My mom will pre-cook the rice and then put it in.
You could also use, if you want to make it kind of Middle Eastern or Sephardic-y, not a real word, Sephardic-ish, you could add toasted pine nuts, and that's really good. So if you're on keto, you could, instead of using rice or breadcrumbs, you could use pine nuts if you want. That would be really good too.
Good to me.
Okay, and then instead of using sugar in the sauce, you would use like a sugar substitute like monk fruit sweetener or stevia or something like that. Okay, Rebecca, can you take the camera and show? I'm not going to roll all of these because we did it earlier, but I'm just going to do a couple so you can see, and then we can just show you the final thing, and we're kind of done. All right, so.
Dude.
I'm removing this top one because it's a little bit funky. Oh, it's probably fine, actually. You know what? It's fine. The most important thing about making stuffed cabbage, when you go to roll them, you got to remove the vein. So this kind of hard part, this gets removed, and you don't. Unfortunately, it gets tossed. It doesn't get used.
You don't have to remove like it all the way through, just the bottom.
Just to about just about this much. The really, really thick part. It's not really tasty.
Because you need the leaf to hold its shape.
Yes. Take about a little over a tablespoon, or like an egg size of meat, and you put it in here. That's a bit big. Let's take a little away. You put it in, and you roll it. First, you start to roll. It doesn't really matter which direction you do this. You can do it however you want. You roll it, then you tuck.
You have to tuck the sides in.
You have to tuck the sides, and then you keep rolling. This one.
Amy, that's beautiful.
This one came out really good.
That's pretty.
You can also kind of poke these little sides in here. See, look at that. I tucked and poked.
Now, Amy is, she likes things to be pretty.
I do.
I, on the other hand, always opt for ease, which is why I used a rotisserie chicken as opposed to a raw chicken and from the beginning. I'm always looking to make things a little bit easier on myself. Ooh, that's beautiful.
I'm peeling. This one came out much better than the one.
Yes. It's bizarre. Then she's going to go ahead and cut the rib out.
So once again, cutting out the vein.
Or the vein, I called it a rib, whatever.
It looks kind of like a rib. Cut out the vein. That gets discarded.
I like to make my stuffed cabbage without having to actually stuff anything.
Oh yeah, talk about how you make it. So, I'm going to keep doing this, and you guys can watch as Rebecca talks about a really interesting stuffed cabbage hack.
So my hack is that I will make the meat, and I'll put the rice in with it. Pardon?
Watch the rolling too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do it all. And instead of doing this part, I'll just chop up the cabbage. And I chop up the cabbage, it's raw. I don't even steam it or cook it because I don't have to roll it. So I chop up I take the main bottom part out, and I chop up, Deborah says we can eat the vein.
I asked my mom, she doesn't, but I mean,
Doesn't mean we can't.
It doesn't mean we can't.
Just means that
I could chop it up more, and I'll. You know what? This time I'll throw the vein in.
That's how Sandy does it.
Yeah, she wastes, I guess. She's
Uh,
a waster.
She's a waster.
So yeah, so you make like a stew almost.
I make a they call them a stoop, or it's a
stoop?
stew soup, which is I'll put in the tomato.
Should we rolling?
I'll put in the tomato sauce. I'll put in chopped up cabbage with the meat, and I'll just serve it that way, as opposed to having to roll it. If I don't have time, which I typically don't, I'll take the easy way out. See, look at you making that, and that was broken, and you made it pretty.
I had to kind of fix that one. All right, let's do one more.
Do one
so
more
you
for
can
good
see.
measure.
All right. So you can just chop everything up and just throw it in a pot and make it like a stew. It's gonna have all the same flavors. It's just gonna be a different experience. All right. So once again, like a little bit of a, little over a tablespoon, egg size. Put it in, roll, fold, roll.
Put it in, fold.
A little more folding, a little more rolling.
Put it in, fold it in.
Fold it and roll it, tuck it,
Look
and
how
roll.
beautiful those are.
Not bad. All right, so here we've got 4 out of many more I'm going to have to do. But again, not going to do all of them now.
I just want to get it.
But I am going to show you now so that when you do get to the point of putting them in the pot, here, I'm bringing them over to the pot.
Here we go.
You just drop them in very, very gently. Seam down. That one's not good. Seam down. So that's the seam. Put that down. Seam down. Okay. Now, if we were going to do this in real time, I would keep making these on me. But the other thing that you do at the end is once you get to a point in the cabbage where it's really no more, not enough to roll, you take whatever's left and you just chop it up, and then you put those chopped bits on top in the pot, and that goes with it. So you have the chopped cabbage as well from what's left over from the cabbage head that you're not rolling. Yeah. So I'm going to go through all this meat. Once I'm done, leftover cabbage chopped in the pot.
And should we walk them over to the pot that's finished and show them? Let's take a little walk.
Right,
We're going to take a walk.
That's going to be
across the
cooking
kitchen.
for 1.5 to 2 hours.
Yeah, it generally.
And on like first it's gonna boil, and then you're gonna have it on a simmer covered, and then
So Deborah's asking about brown sugar. I mean, I'm assuming instead of regular sugar, you can use brown.
you can use brown, you can use demerara. I used a raw sugar. So this is it. Ooh, let's bring it over here. It's messy. Was it all right?
Yeah.
Don't mess up your table. I need a spoon.
But I want to show. I want to show people how beautiful this is. Look at that. Oh my gosh. My mom also doesn't put raisins in it.
Oh, yes.
But I love the idea of raisins.
Here.
Look how beautiful that is.
That is a completed stuffed cabbage dish. It's unbelievably delicious. Enjoy it. Cook it. And again, watch our shorter videos that we're going to post. That'll show you how to core the cabbage and a few other steps. We also have a whole video on how I roll them. So this is how I roll. You'll get to see how I roll. So this is done. And the other thing you need to do at about every half hour, you want to like give the pot a little shake to kind of mix everything up. You can sort of gently scoop things around, but you don't want the cabbage rolls to fall apart. So shaking like this, want to show? Shaking, just giving the dish a bit of a shake about every half hour in that 1.5 to 2 hours that it's cooking on a very low heat helps to move everything around. And after about 1.5 hours or 2 hours, it's going to be done. The other thing I want to mention is you do want to taste your sauce as you go. If it's not salty enough, or if it needs more pepper, or needs more sugar, just add a little bit more. And that's it.
Okay.
That stuffed cabbage is done. We're going to eat it.
We're going to eat it. You can always catch us, what do we call digesting?
Oh yeah, we're going to be
digesting
food.
2 Jews digesting
Yes.
food.
You can check in with us again in a bit.
Because the soup is done. Ooh, we should get a little shot of soup.
Yeah,
so
we
you
got to
can
get
see.
a shot of the soup.
And the second batch.
Ooh, ta-da!
See, it comes to like a real light boil. It's not like a crazy boil. Chicken's in there. They're
Check out
moving
your
around.
balls.
My balls are beautiful.
They look pretty fluffy, I gotta say.
I know. I've got to say they're fluffy, but I think I have faith.
Hopefully, there's some firmness in there.
There's got to be. There's got to be.
So that's
Oh my God, so good.
That's it.
We are gonna feast.
We will post a photo of it all plated and delicious, and then tune back in for Two Jews Digesting Food shortly. But I don't know, is there anything else, Rebecca?
No, I think we did great. We came in at the hour mark.
We did? We were trying for 45
Come on, it's
minutes.
4:04. We did great.
That's not
Well,
bad.
we also had some
We had so many technical
audio
difficulties today. We got complacent.
No, we got rightly confident. Although our technology kind of failed us, even though it was all charged and ready to go.
Yeah.
Failure
All right.
technology.
So we are
as usual.
matzo ball soup and what do you call it? Matzo ball soup and stuffed cabbage mavens.
Mavens.
Yiddish word of the day.
We
So-
are Jewish food mavens.
Yes. Oh, and hey, next month you're not here the first Wednesday, right? Is that when you're in Vegas?
Isn't that March?
March. Is it March that you're away or April?
Oh, you know what? It's at April 1st.
Oh, okay, never mind. So the first Wednesday in March at 3 p.m. we will be back. And so tune in then again. Tell your friends. And thank you, Deborah. Mazel to you as well.
Thank you for checking
Thank you all for
in.
watching. And check
Love
in
you,
again
Mom.
shortly for Two Jews Digesting Food. Nina just jumped in at the end. Hi, Nina. Nina will tune back in for Two Jews Digesting Food because she always catches that. Well, we've just finished, Nina, but thank you for joining. And then we'll see you again soon. First Wednesday of March, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Be there.
Two Jews making food. Out.
Mavening.
Mavening. Bye. I'll try to.
Bye.
It's not turning out. Oh, it's wrong side. Where's the
Are we
thing?
taking pictures?